Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So I just got through a streaming of the Oprah interview with Meghan and Harry, and please have some kind of consideration for the fact that I am in the UK. It is currently 10 minutes past 3 a.m. so I have done this for you guys to just get the latest for you guys, to get a gist of what you are about to witness in Britain, because we don't get it until tomorrow at 9 p.m. on ITV. So, you know, I'm just giving you guys an early heads up. Oh my God. So much was said, and I actually started taking notes. Forgive me if I miss any important details out that you find out a few days later. I'm sure there will be a million reactions to this interview, but it was very shocking. And I'm not going to waffle on too much because I am tired, I have to confess. It's really late over here, but I did want to get this interview out for you guys, and I wanted to get this video out for you guys. Right, so the first key thing that was revealed in the interview was the implication from Meghan initially when she was directly having her chit chat with Oprah, that allegedly members of the royal firm insinuated to Harry in a kind of suggestive, prejudiced, kind of racist way that there would be a major issue if the baby came out with a darker skin tone or came out with some kind of genetic throwback, because you know that happens, whereby someone who's either biracial or has some kind of black blood in them, that could be distant, goes with someone who is white or Caucasian, should I say the correct word, and they can have a complete throwback and have a black baby, okay? And I'm not saying that in a racist way because I'm a black woman, but I'm sure you've all seen this online. So allegedly there was a major issue, and Oprah cross-questioned Meghan, and she asked her, well, you know, who said that? And she said, I don't want to say because it wasn't directly said to me, it was said to Harry, who told me. And she was very unclear about where exactly it came from. Could have been the royal aides, could have been a family member, but she did heavily hint towards it actually being an actual senior member of the royal firm, which I thought was quite interesting. I thought it was, I don't know if it's true, I don't know if it's false, I'm just not sure, but it just seems as though they've really gone through their PR to kind of tie up all the loose ends on what has been getting said about them for the last 2 years, and they are really trying to solve and close down and shut down this, you know, this anti-Meghan and Harry campaign that has been running for a while now. Right, so what was the next thing? The next thing that was discussed was the fact that they obviously stepped down, and Oprah asked her why, you know, to get into some of the reasons as to why Meghan and Harry decided to step down. So she started to immediately talk about the fact that apparently when she was pregnant, about 6 months pregnant, she was told by the firm that she would not be receiving security, or at least their child wouldn't be receiving security, and that it would not get a title. It would not be given a conventional prince or princess title, which she was of the understanding that it would get a title. Her child would immediately receive a title like everyone else. And she said that they was reviewing the convention specifically just for baby Archie. How true is this? I don't know, but baby Archie is very insignificant in the line of succession anyway. He's very far down. Is he not 8th in line now? So, and she seems quite miffed about that. And I do remember at the time when Meghan and Harry had baby Archie, they didn't want to stand on the steps, and everything kind of changed as soon as she got pregnant. And I think upon realizing that she would not be getting that aristocracy for her son, it became a big issue, and she then didn't want to be in the firm because Meghan wanted to have a royal child. She wanted to have the aristocracy. And she also said, which was quite interesting, that she didn't care about royalty or anything like that. She said she didn't give a damn because in Hollywood, you know, she always was meeting, or in LA, she always met famous people. So she just didn't really realize the impact of or the significance of what it was to actually be in the firm. She thought they was like the regular A-listers, blah, 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 blah. I call it codswallop. Don't believe that at all, because why would she have been so peeved about her child then not being a prince or a princess? But she said that she didn't care because she was always an independent woman before she got with Harry, and you know, she just doesn't care about Duke, Duchess, blah 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 blah. If she never cared about it and she felt uncomfortable, because Harry also said towards the end of the interview that even before they got married, it was very clear that this was going to be awkward, that it was going to be difficult. Yeah, they did give them a hard time. And I think they gave them a hard time because they really felt as though Meghan Markle was what she has become, which is someone who had come to Britain to make a name for themselves, who was a climber, who was an opportunist. And I can see why the firm reacted the way they reacted. So another thing that she said, which was quite significant, it's not in my notes, but what she basically said was that there was the whole debacle over the flower girls' dresses, and reports have been revealed that, or at least the story is being told in a way in which we now believe that Meghan Markle apparently had some kind of to and fro with Kate just before the wedding over the flower girls not wearing tights or not wearing a specific type of garment, and as a result Kate cried. What she said was that apparently Kate addressed her regarding the flower girls and the page boys, I think something to do with the children and the wedding, not wearing a specific element. I think it is the tights, and apparently Kate made her cry. This is what Meghan's saying. So Meghan's saying that she felt wronged because the story went straight out to the media that she in fact made Kate cry, and that's not the truth. And she felt as though the royal firm should have been there to alleviate the confusion, and they didn't. And then it was very strange the way in which Harry started talking about his brother and his father like they were prisoners and victims of some kind of atrocious institution. But I'll get onto that. So this video is going to be quite long, isn't it? So she said that, or hinted at, the fact that her mental health during the end of her pregnancy with baby Archie had taken a large battering, and she started feeling suicidal, or she started having thoughts of self-harm, inflicting, self-harm, it starts with an S, thoughts. And she wanted to take her own life. This is what she's basically said. And she also said that due to the pressure and the stress and lack of support from the royal firm, she felt as though she needed to check herself into a mental health hospital. And mental health is a very serious thing, so it's not really something that I'm going to mock during this video, because it's a very serious thing. And I don't know, when it comes to Meghan, it's very difficult to believe these things because there's been so much confusion as to what's being put out there, along with what they themselves have directly said in so many words. You just don't really know what to believe. And then she almost started crying, but no tears came out, really. She started talking in a choked up manner. But we have to remember, Meghan Markle has had a lot of acting lessons. She wasn't the best actress, because obviously if she was one of the best actresses, she never would have married Harry, because she would have had better options. But here we are. So she wasn't the best actress, so no tears came out. And Oprah was just loving this tea. She was like, wow, ooh, this is amazing. So apparently, she was devastated. Harry had some kind of event that he had to go to. In fact, they both went to an event at the Royal Albert Hall, and she was wearing the black sequin dress. I will try and insert a picture here. And she said that during that event, she was just crying and crying, in between smiling for the cameras. And Harry said, it's a job. It's not like you can just fall apart on the job. You are centre stage and you have to perform. So she said that as the camera was flashed on her and Harry, she was smiling, looking happy. And then as the camera was taken away, she was sobbing, sobbing in the chair in the hall. So she also said during the interview regarding her father, she didn't go into, that's another thing, she didn't go into why she doesn't talk to her dad specifically. Now, I may have missed that because the connection that I was watching was extremely patchy, and someone kindly from the United States streamed it in a Google chat, so it was a very weak stream. So a lot of it was kind of like 2 seconds missing, then we was getting some kind of stream, and then 2 seconds missing, then we was getting some kind of stream. So words were missing. So this is not a full accurate minute-to-minute detail of everything that was said in the interview. You will see it in good time, and obviously if you're in America, you're fortunate enough to have been able to watch it. So she also spoke about her dad like he was basically long gone and dusted and buried in the ground, which was weird. But she also said it in the same context of, she's lost a baby too. So she basically has written her father off as dead. She's never going to speak to her dad again, which is interesting because she's talking about this system and this, this juggernaut of a firm, but she can't just, get on with resolving her rift with her father. So that loose end is still very much untied and doesn't make sense to me. She hasn't addressed her half-siblings. She hasn't addressed her relationship with her father. She also talked about her relationship with the Queen in a positive light, but then she said that she received no formal training whatsoever, not even to learn the national anthem. She said she had to Google the British national anthem for herself because she wanted to do her best for the family, blah, blah, blah. She was making excuses for her poor behaviour, as usual. And then she basically just said that, the Queen is a lovely lady. She's very sweet, and, she curtsied and she chatted with her, blah, blah, blah. And she tried to kind of make it look like, she was really enthralled with this lady. And she said that she reminded her of her grandmother. She didn't say which one. She didn't say the black one or the white one. She just didn't say. I have to be honest. Right? So she didn't say, because let's face it, her grandmother, if she really loved her, would have been at the wedding. But she wasn't, along with any of her black side or her white side, which doesn't make any sense. Why didn't she address the fact that she had no other family members at the wedding except for Dorian? Now, I could have missed this out because, like I said, I was watching a really bad connection, but I don't think she addressed it. So then Harry comes along, boring Harry, and he starts talking about, social media and the abuse and how he wasn't aware of unconscious bias until he dated Meghan and, all of that good stuff. And that's why he had to save his family's life effectively. He also referenced the UK as still being his home. He said that the UK is his home. And then my connection kind of went bad. So then he moved on to say something rather interesting, which was the fact that his father has stopped taking his calls. So what he's basically revealed is that Charles has stopped talking to him. Prince Charles has cut Harry off officially. And, we was all waiting for this moment. So you can do a happy dance if you want to. I think I'm going to make this into a part 2 because this is kind of like a very long interview, and I don't want to give you guys half of the truth or rush the video. So I'll be back with part 2.